Welcome to another Mr. Ness screencast. Today's aim is the Louisiana Purchase, and here are your objectives. Please pause the video, look these questions over, and get ready to copy some vocab terms and take some notes. Let's start by reviewing our map of westward expansion. This area in green shows the U.S. in 1783, just after it got independence from England. And at this time, in 1783, the United States extended from the Atlantic Ocean in the east to the Mississippi River in the west. And beyond the Mississippi River at this time lay lands that were controlled by France. And the first major event in westward expansion came in 1803 with the Louisiana Purchase, which added all this land in yellow to the United States. The Louisiana Purchase was a land deal that Thomas Jefferson, the Democratic Republican President of the United States, made with Napoleon Bonaparte, the Emperor of France. Following the French Revolution and a revolution in the French colony of Haiti, Napoleon really needed money, so he asked Jefferson if the U.S. would like to buy France's lands in North America. And Jefferson agreed, and the U.S. paid Napoleon 60 million francs, which was equal to about $11 million at the time. And now we're going to look at why the Louisiana Purchase was such an important event in U.S. history. First of all, it was a ton of new land. It was 530 million acres, and it doubled the size of the U.S. Take a look at this map again. You can see just how big it is. So the U.S. was suddenly twice as big, and this land contained some of the most fertile soil in the entire world. And the farms that sprang up over the following decades and centuries would contribute greatly to America's wealth. But on the other hand, all this land increased contact between white settlers and Native Americans, and eventually the Louisiana Purchase led to white Americans continuing their policies of violent land seizure and forced displacement of Native peoples. And you will learn more about the impacts of the Louisiana Purchase on Native Americans later in the unit. An important geographic effect of the Louisiana Purchase was that it gave the United States control of the Mississippi River and the city of New Orleans. The Mississippi is the longest river in the U.S., and it's a major waterway for trade and transportation. And New Orleans is a big city that's located on the Mississippi River, right where the river reaches the Atlantic Ocean in the Gulf of Mexico. New Orleans was a major trading center because all the boats that traveled down the Mississippi had to pass through New Orleans in order to reach the Gulf of Mexico, where they could then sail out to other parts of the world. Before the Louisiana Purchase, France controlled both the Mississippi River and the city of New Orleans. And the French charged American traders fees to travel along the river and sometimes didn't let them travel on it at all. So buying this land from France guaranteed U.S. access to the entire Mississippi and to its major port city, New Orleans. Let's end by talking about some criticisms that Jefferson faced at the time for his decision to buy all this land. Jefferson's main political opponent, the Federalist Alexander Hamilton, argued that Jefferson had bought too much land, that it was more land than the U.S. could manage. How would the federal government maintain control over all this land? How would it collect taxes efficiently? How would it prevent conflict between settlers and Native Americans? These were some of the questions Jefferson critics were worried about. All right, let's end by looking at our westward expansion map again. You can see just how big the Louisiana Purchase was. And here you can see New Orleans, right where the Mississippi reaches the Gulf of Mexico. And now it's time to review the objectives. If you don't know the answer to any of them, just rewind the video and look again. I will see you in class. Bye, students.